Happy spring, wonderfuls! Let's paint some roses with this palette. You might have noticed that the palette colors aren't traditional colors, and it's just a collection of tubes that I've been holding onto for a little while until I had enough to fill this 18-well palette. I'm starting off with some Quin Burnt Scarlet, and I'm doing this technique that we learned in a Jean Haynes workshop. Many of you know she's my watercolor idol, an amazing teacher, and one of the loveliest people I have ever met. She really expresses herself through the flow and no sketch art. She jumps right into a painting and honestly lets her colors just sing. The roses I'm doing today, I'm doing from a perspective of looking down into the roses. You might have noticed I started with a C shape, and it's kind of a bunch of little C's hugging each other. From there, I try to use a lot of water to let the colors spread. Now that it's spring, go outside and look at a rose, or any flower. You can tell that it's not just one solid color. I'm still using the Quin Burnt Scarlet, and I also added some Pyrrole Red Deep. Okay, here comes those little C shapes again. Kind of making a C shape into a circle, and without taking any more color or any more water, I gently press my brush down to let the color spread. Continue making your circle bigger and bigger, and use your brush with varying pressures. I'm gathering some more water, and I'm making the color spread out even more. A lot of tips I've gotten is paint a flower how they grow. It starts with the bud and then the petals bloom out from there. So if you start from the center and work your way out, you'll get a more realistic looking rose. Leaving some whites of the paper to shine through suggests highlights of sun on the rose. It also helps your painting look more flowy and more loose. Try to remember not to cover every inch of your paper with paint. Another technique Mrs. Haynes taught us was to tilt our paper more upright so that our paint would flow. Now, a lot of the members in the class had fancy apparatuses to hold up their paper vertical. But my mom and I, well, we had tissue boxes, and we stuck it behind the paper to give us a nice angle. This shows you don't need the fanciest equipment to enjoy painting. I hope you'll start investigating some of the watercolor classes near you. If you're not sure where to start, you might want to ask your local art store if they have workshops that they host artists at. This is a great way to meet some of the local talent and even some people you've been following on social media. I suggest that you look on artists' blogs and websites that you admire and see if they have a tour schedule. They just might be traveling to your city. Have fun with new techniques while incorporating your own personal style. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to stop and smell the roses. I'll see you next time.